How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Full Pack Bricks. Today I'm going to be reviewing LEGO Minifigures Series 27,
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
as well as ranking all the figures from worst to best. So without further ado, let's get going. At number 12, in dead last place, we have the Pteranodon costume fan. Yes, I'm going to be a nerd and say Pteranodon instead of Pterodactyl. The figure has these really interesting new wing arm molds, similar to the Man-Bat arms from Monster Fighters. There's some cool printing on these, but to be honest, I don't see where else you would use these. And that's where I have to start discussing the negatives. Firstly, she has no back printing for some reason. It would have been really easily, especially on a $5 minifig, to print on a stubby little Pteranodon tail, or to adapt the printing from the helmet onto the back. And speaking of which, the helmet absolutely sucks. The Pteranodon's head is notably meant to be narrow, and widening it to fit over a minifigure head just looks terrible. The face print fits the figure kinda well, but I can't really see it working anywhere else, especially with a blue lipstick. Overall, this figure is just a disappointment, especially for $5. I do still hope to get the previous two dinosaur costumes to complete the collection though, and I'm interested to see what new minifigures LEGO adds to continue this line up. Number 11, we have the Plush Toy Collector. I'm really just not a fan of this figure. The only reason she's called that Plush Toy Collector is because of these new knockoff Squishmallow molds she has. One of them is a sheep or a poodle, and the other is a frog or lizard or turtle or something. And if this mold was exclusive to the figure, maybe it would be more interesting. But nope, the same mold is already appearing in a dream set and at least 2 friend sets with different prints. So literally the only reason she exists is because of her non-exclusive accessories, which is just kind of odd to me. I think if without those she could just be like Pajama Girl or something. But not to mention the figure herself is rather uninteresting. I'm pretty sure his hair is reused from Sora, and the overly cutesy facial expressions just look so annoying. Her pajamas too are a really muted color for some reason, and also I don't quite understand why her hood has a cat ears, but her left arm has a rabbit face, and her right arm has a canine paw print. Overall, just a really strange minifig with a really strange name. Not a big fan, to be honest. At number 10, we have the Hamster Costume Fan. This one's actually pretty cute, to be honest. I love all the printing, and the hamster head mold looks great. The face isn't super unique, but I love the chipper expressions, and it would still look good on a child in LEGO City. He comes with a printed 1x1 cucumber tile, which is a bit odd as I don't tend to associate hamsters with cucumbers, so maybe something like seeds or nuts would have been better. Still, it's nice to have some new LEGO foods here. Overall, I don't have much to say. Not a super interesting figure, but I don't hate it. At number 9 is the Jetpack Racer. This figure certainly looks cool, but maybe not as cool as he could have been. Almost every surface, except the hip weirdly enough, is covered in printing, likely meant to represent different racing sponsors. However, I kind of wonder if it's maybe over-detailed. The helmet is pretty cool, and the face underneath with a smile on one side and a mask on the other is even cooler. The jetpack though, the jetpack is just a failure. I really hate how much it sticks out of the back, which definitely makes balancing the figure harder. What's even worse is that LEGO already has an existing jetpack piece that works perfectly here, and maybe we could have gotten a new recolor and a new 1x1 tile print for it too. Also, I really wish this figure had a clear stance pose and flying around. I think that would have looked pretty cool on him. Overall, like I said before, he's cool, but not quite as cool as he could have been in my opinion. Number 8 is the Astronomy Girl. This figure is mostly just basic. The rocket print on her shirt is cool, but kinda basic. The new teal mid-legs are cool, but also kinda basic. And the new face prints are also kinda cool, but also kinda basic. I do like how one is winking like she's looking through a telescope though. But there are 2 new parts, technically 3, that launched her, no pun intended, this high in the ranking. Firstly, the arm. The prosthetic hand I don't believe is new. I'm pretty sure it came into Friends Hospital last summer, but the arm definitely is. It has a bar connection at the end so the hand can slot into it, which I can actually see being really useful for sci-fi customs. And secondly, the tripod. It's similar to the grass stem piece except that 1, the ends are bars, not pegs, which already makes them way more versatile, and 2, they're all the same length. I can see this being a useful piece, so here's hoping LEGO puts it in more sets and makes it in more colors. Overall though, the figure isn't too exciting, but the new parts absolutely carry this one into 8th place. At number 7, we have the longboarder. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 90% of AFOLs had absolutely no idea what longboarding was before this figure was rumored. Apparently it's like skateboarding, but more travel-based and trick-based. Honestly, I'm not that interested in obscure sports being added to these CMFs. Not to mention the green wheels just clash horribly with the medium nougat board. The figure, on the other hand, is actually amazing. The green hair and cap combo looks really cool, and I like this new bandage face for her. She comes with the skydiver bag recolored in dark bluish gray, which makes sense if she's traveling from place to place on her longboard. I might actually use this for my stick fig since I have a similar bag IRL. The torso has some cool stylized letters that kind of give me a cyberpunk vibe, so maybe you could get more of these and have a cyberpunk street gang or something. And the rip trains are a cool new design as well. I love the side leg printing especially. Overall, while I think the accessory is unusually obscure for a collectible minifigure, the actual minifigure herself is really well done. Breaking into the top 6, we have the Boogeyman. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it's taken LEGO this long to make a minifigure of the Boogeyman. Maybe it's not as prominent in European culture as it is in American culture, something like that. I don't know. Either way, the figure is actually pretty cool. The dark blue color works perfectly for a sort of creature of the night with some great fur printing. Sadly, most of it is covered by the new head mold, so for that reason I do kind of wish they'd printed the arms. Speaking of the head mold though, it's a really cool new piece. It's similar to the part used for the Yeti, Bigfoot, and this sorry excuse for a beaver, but with some notable differences. There are 2 holes in the side for you to place bar pieces in, like the sand blue cow horns included, and the face is flat so that it can be printed. The styling and expression is pretty good, although one slight nitpick I have is that I think the eyebrows should have been the same level so it looks more like he's angry and less like he's confused. But he comes with a dark red book of scary stories that features a silhouette of the Boogeyman inside. If you happen to be building a summer camp mock, then this is an absolute must-have for a bonfire. Overall, a pretty cool figure that I'm glad LEGO has finally made. Also, just a brief aside here, the figure would actually fit perfectly into LEGO's most recent original theme, LEGO Dreams. The concept of a monster under your bed or hiding in your closet would work so well within the universe. And we are rumored to be getting at least one more wave of sets in 2026, so maybe LEGO will reuse this design for a new villain faction? I don't know. In the meantime though, I might still try and army build these figures where I can, because they're pretty cool. At number 5, we have the Crazy Cat Lover, and I have to say, this is a pretty cool figure. The sweater with the cat motif is nice, especially with arm printing, and I kind of like the cat hair printed on the legs. That's a nice detail. While I absolutely despise this hairpiece, it is so ugly. The face print is really great. Of course, I might be the tiniest bit biased since I'm using it for my sig fig. It's kind of hard to find face prints with glasses, so I'm glad I have this. I also think the alternative face with a scratch is pretty funny. This is how I imagine owning a cat must be like. Speaking of which, the figure comes with a brand new Persian cat mold that looks suitably fluffy. Maybe we'll see it in another set later down the line, who knows. And the new yarn ball is pretty cool as well. I do have one strange complaint about this figure though. Why wasn't it an old lady? I mean, a cat-loving grandma is such a recurring archetype, so this would have been a great chance to get a new elderly female face. Of course, I did get a new stick fig out of it, so can't really complain much. Overall though, the figure is great, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. At number 4, we have Cupid. Again, I am absolutely shocked that it took LEGO 12 CMF series just to make this figure. Regardless, he looks amazing. The toga is a nice design, and he has a gold armband printed on one arm. Unfortunately though, the opposite arm is unprinted, which is kind of sad. It could have been used for a lot of great customs. He has a new, somewhat unusual wing piece which attaches to a neck bracket for some reason. It's a weird design choice, but the wings could possibly be used as architectural detail on a marble structure of some sort. He has 2 faces, a smile and one with hard eyes. I already know that last one is going to be used for way too many cuts. Alright, who put that in here? Anyways, for accessories, he comes with a red bow and a heart tile. I kind of wish the heart was printed with a Valentine or something though, but overall a great figure, and I'm glad LEGO has finally gotten around to making it. Alright, it's time to move into the top 3. And number 3 is the Pirate Quartermaster. This figure is just phenomenal. Her arms are printed with gold bracelets and lace-trimmed sleeves. The torso actually goes well with the D&D elf bard pretty well, and the golden compass details on her dual-molded legs are also great. She also comes with a red waist cape that looks pretty awesome. She has 2 expressions, one smirking and one grinning with a subtle gold tooth visible. Interestingly enough, I actually have a misprinted version of the head with the lips off center. Not gonna lie, it kind of looks like she has a mustache or something. She has 2 accessories, one good, one not great. Starting with the good one though, she has a brand new cockatoo bird, which looks amazing. I really hope it comes in more sets soon, maybe even in more colors. The cutlass, however, is a cutlass. It's not really that interesting. Plus, from what I understand, a quartermaster is meant to be in charge of a ship's inventory, so I wonder if something like a treasure chest or some food would have made more sense. Notably though, she does come with a second cutlass, although I assume this is just an extra piece. But maybe you can have her passing out weapons to the crew to prepare for battle? I'm not sure. Either way, the Pirate Quartermaster is an amazing figure overall, and definitely a must-have for Pirates fans. Second place, we have the Steampunk Inventor. Much like the Boogeyman and Cupid, I'm surprised that it's taken LEGO this long to give us anything steampunk. Sure, you could argue that Monster Fighters or Ninjago Skybound or even Ninjago Hunted had steampunk elements, but this is the first legit steampunk minifigure we've ever had, and it's awesome. The olive green suit looks great, the dapper faceprint looks great, the hat with goggles looks great. His accessory is a sort of device that attaches to his arm. I'm not sure if it's his gold arm is a prosthetic or some kind of enhanced power armor or something. I'm not really sure. But there is a cool new tile piece. Overall, a spectacular minifig, and I'm probably sounding like a broken record at this point, but I'm glad that LEGO finally decided to make a figure like this. And now, for the best minifigure of Series 27, to the surprise of absolutely no one, is the Wolfpack Beastmaster. Look, despite all the controversy this has caused, it's undeniable how awesome this figure is. You have a brand new Wolfpack torso, printed chainmail arms, printed legs with boots, and the cape? The cape is just amazing. On one side you have your standard spongy modern LEGO cape, but on the other side it has a fuzzy felt texture, meant to represent fur, I'm guessing. Here's hoping that we get it more colors, please, please. He has two face prints, one with a snaggletooth and one that's howling or maybe whistling for his animals to come. The accessories are great as well, except maybe the sword. Not only is it pretty common, but this guy's a Beastmaster, so something like a whip for taming animals would have probably been more appropriate. The other two are way better though. Firstly, a Wolfpack shield with the modern logo. Oh boy, do I hope they put this piece in more sets, because these would be such a great addition to my army. And I sure as heck ain't paying scalpers $3 a piece for them. The other one is a wolf, which is just an absolute dream come true for me. Wolves are my favorite animal, if you've somehow couldn't have guessed by spending 3 seconds on any of my socials. And I am beyond excited to have them in LEGO form. The mold is significantly larger than the standard German Shepherd piece, used for most of LEGO's dogs, and it has a lot of amazing printing to make it look extra floofy. Not only that, but we're getting them in the city set this June, meaning that eventually they'll come to Pick-a-Brick. Hopefully bestseller, please put them on bestseller, please put them on bestseller! Overall, this figure is amazing, and I really do wish I had some more of them, but alas, scalpers exist, and so buying a complete set of the series is the only way I could get one without paying triple the price for it. So this one will have to do for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like if you enjoyed the video, and maybe consider subscribing, or go follow me on Instagram. I post a lot more often there, and we're currently trying to hit 500 followers by the end of the year. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you again soon.